Okay, we're going to go over the March solicitations for December 2022. Okay, so let's start off. First off, we have the Avengers. So this is a one-shot series that's coming out with Jason Aaron. So whenever there's an Avengers Assemble Alpha, there's usually an Omega. So I think there is going to be an Omega coming up, hopefully by next month, and then you get to see how everything comes into play. So, and then by 2023 January, there's going to be a new first issue with the new writers coming on board. All right, so let's take a look what they have. Avengers Forever, that's also going to be coming to an end. So this is the multiverse saga that they're wrapping up right now. Okay, so Avengers 62, again, it just comes to an end in regards to everything from the beginning, from 10,000 million BC till now. So you get to see everything coming to a close. All Out Avengers, I still don't know why they released the series in the midst of one Avengers title ending. So I think this is, it could have waited until when there's a new first issue. That way they can really promote everything together. Okay, so next up we have Amazing Spider-Man Dark Web. This is about a $5 issue of Spider-Man. So this is going to be introduce a new character called Hallows Eve into the Dark Web event, which will include the X-Men. So this is something it would have been great if Ben Reilly's Chasm was just a separate story, similar to what they did with Venom when you see that first interaction, but him teaming up with the Goblin Queen and the Hallows Eve, the new villain that's coming up. I don't know how much of an impact this character will have going forward, but it's something that I'm really invested in. This is Spider-Man's clone from the 1970s, finally becoming the villain that he deserves to be, the anti-Spider-Man. All the powers and no responsibility. So I think this character has lots of, as a villain, has lots of potential going forward, and it's something to look forward to. So Venom 13, that's also going to be a tie-in to Dark Web. So we'll see how that plays out. The Gold Goblin, this is a limited series where Norman Osborn is a goody two-shoe right now, and now instead of the Green Goblin, he is now the Gold Goblin. It would have been great that he became like the Green Spider-Man, you know, where you have because he's creating a glider for, he created a glider for Spider-Man in the recent issues of Amazing Spider-Man. So it would have been great if he took the opposite approach. Instead of becoming another Goblin, you know, he became like a Spider-Man type of character. Right. Next up we have a new first issue of Fantastic Four, After Dan Slott. Again, not really invested in this right now. I think I'm kind of bored with the reboots of Fantastic Four. It would have been great if it returned to its original numbering and then just some level of continuity right now. And you have Judgment Day Omega. So this is a one-shot series. This is capping off the Avengers X-Men Eternals event. All out from there. So we have Neil Gaiman's Miracle Man, the second issue of Silver Age. Again, this is something that I think will be interesting if it's once it's collected. So you had Neil Gaiman's Golden Age, you have the Silver Age, and eventually it's going to go into the Dark Age. So I mean, this is something that will be, I think, best read if it's collected in a volume. We have also another Deadpool series coming up. Again, not really invested in this. I know, it's like you kind of become jaded. We have the reprint of the first appearance of Deadpool, New Mutants 98. And we have Tiger Division. With the South Korean defenders. I think this adds to the diversity level, but I don't know. I mean, if they made more of an impact in regards to the diversity, it would have been interesting. But I don't know how these characters come to play in the overall Marvel universe. If there was a TV series that promotes that, that'd be great. But that's not the case. So Doctor Strange, this is a limited series with the same artist of Silver Surfer Black. Again, I don't know how much of an impact it's going to make in the long term, so not following that. Demon Wards. Again, not really following this. This is a one-shot series, but again, I haven't been following. I think these stories would be great if it's collected in a omnibus, but right now I'm just wait until that happens. So Greg Pak is revisiting the Hulk again, Planet Hulk, that takes place 1,000 years later. So right now we have there's a Namor series that's taking place in the future, and now we have a Hulk series taking place in the future. Again, everything depends on what happens in the second issue, if it's going to be interesting or just a rehash of the same old stuff. Extreme X-Men, this is by Chris Claremont. This is a limited series. Again, this is not something that I'm invested in. It's just like, just beats on your nostalgia. Okay. Murder World Avengers #1. Again, not really interested. Sabretooth and the Exiles. Again, this is a new series. I don't know how good it's going to be. It would have been great if it's like there's a build up to this. Like if there was an X-Men event and then they said, okay, we're going to have these first issue series coming up. Secret Invasion, this is something that was delayed. Now it's coming back again. They resolicited it. So we'll see what happens. There's going to be an Secret Invasion series coming up from Disney Plus next year, so it may come into play with that. Amazing Spider-Man 13, this is where Norman Osborn becomes the Gold Goblin. Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man #2, again not really following the limited series spin-offs. So Spider-Man #2 by Dan Slott. After his run in Fantastic Four, he's returning back to Spider-Man for the series where we get to see the end of the Spider-Verse, which I don't think that's going to last so long, especially with the movie coming up, Into the Spider-Verse. So, okay. This is a kid series, Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Spider-Man The Lost Hunt. So again, this could be something interesting. I'd rather read this in a trade paperback, see how everything comes into play. Again, they're just tapping into like these old stories for Kraven's Last Hunt, where they're trying to give you a different perspective. So I'm not really interested in this. I know there's a Kraven movie coming up, but again, not really too much invested. Guardians of the Galaxy one shot. Again, not really something that's dramatically coming out. Thanos Death Notes. So this is a one shot series. I think they're going to be introducing a new stone in the series. So we'll see where it goes. J. Michael Straczynski is in it. So Thanos is missing, presumed dead. I think there's going to be a black stone where he wields the gauntlet. Right, so if you take a look, I think in series you see him wearing a gauntlet here. I think that's going to be something in the future that's coming up. So it could be interesting if it introduces we get to see the events unfold from the Thor series, where you get to see the Infinity Hammer. Namor Conquered Shores. This takes place in the future. Again, I was only going to collect the first issue if something interesting happens in the second issue, but it doesn't seem like the case. Like Luke Cage is in it, the original Human Torch is in it, so again, it's like $5. It's not something that I'm really worthwhile invested in. Wakanda, another limited series, especially with the Wakanda movie coming out in November. Wakanda Forever. Again, not really interested. Like these limited series, it's just like a tangent of what they have. They're just trying to sell something where we're not going to have that much impact in the future. Midnight Suns. I mean, they're talking about Midnight Suns series coming up at Disney Plus, but I don't know. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So again, I think the original Midnight Suns was back in the 90s. It was a nice story, and now it's a limited series right now. Trying to think back about, so people think back of their level of experience from there. So again, not really interested in picking up these stories. Blade, Vampire Nation. This is a one-shot. Lots of one-shots this month by Marvel. I think there's some trying to experiment on which one stories will stick. I think what they're trying to do is cannibalizing their publishing schedule. Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty. I think there's going to be a tie-in coming up in regards to this. The Nomad. Who's going to be the next Nomad series? It's going to tie in Captain America, Sentinel of Liberty, and Captain America, Symbol of Truth. So those two issues are coming together. Captain America Winter Soldier special. Iron Man number 25. So this is the 650th issue of Iron Man. We're going to run you around $6. So again, not really interested. If it was like, they went back to the legacy numbering, could be something worth picking up, but since they're sticking with this alternative numbering, it's not something where I'm interested in picking up. Gambit, another limited series. X-Men Legends, again, another series. They had the first volume of X-Men Legends, now this is the second volume. There, X-Men number 17. So I know in January there's a event coming up for the X-Men called SOS. So I think all the X-Men books are going to tie in together. Exterminators, again, another limited series based on the past. Legion of X. Not interested in the X-Men books for a while now, so don't see how these are going to come into play. Marauders, Wolverine, New Mutants 32, X-Force, Immortal X-Men. Again, this is just there. Black Panther the Unconquered. So this is a one-shot series that's coming out, right? Especially with the movie there. So again, it's friendly. This is a new reader-friendly book. It's a one-shot where people get to be introduced with Killmonger and other characters in the Black Panther universe. Right. We also have a reprint of Fantastic Four 52, which is the first appearance of Black Panther. Okay. So there's a new story arc going on Black Panther, the same month as the release of Wakanda Forever movie. Again, not really interested in where Marvel is going right now. So Savage Avengers. So we get to see the Punisher of 2099 in here, Jake Gallows. Marvel Tales Ghost Rider. So this is a collection of Ghost Rider, the first 3 issues of Ghost Rider from the 90s. So this is something where I loved Dan Ketch as the Ghost Rider back in the 90s. That was my first introduction to Ghost Rider. I know Johnny Blaze was there, but just finding out the relationship between the two over time, it was pretty interesting. I would love to collect the omnibus of Ghost Rider. I know issue 25 of the original of the Ghost Rider series in the 1990s. It was a pop-up book, so it failed in the execution, but it was something really interesting to see. Ghost Rider number 8. I know the Ghost Rider number 7. There is a first appearance, so that was worth. I would definitely pick that up. But going forward, I don't know in regards to what's happening with the series. Carnage number 8. And this is by Rom V. So if you love him as a writer, I think this is something that's worth picking up. Moon Knight 17. Again, this is just not really interested in Moon Knight. Daredevil number 5. Big changes befall Matt Murdock. In the pages of Daredevil number 4. There's been rumors that they're both going to get married, so I think Daredevil number 4 will be worthwhile to pick up. Daredevil number 5, not so much going forward, because I don't know what the fallout is. Punisher number 7. This is Punisher limited series. Strange number 8. And kind of looking forward to when Doctor Strange returns. I don't know how much of an impact this series has. She-Hulk number 8. Again, if you're a fan of the series, pick it up. Otherwise, just skip it. Strange Academy Finals number 2. This is the second volume of Strange Academy. So I think there's going to be a lot of first appearances in this book. So it could be the first issue could be worth picking up. So we'll see. Captain Marvel limited series. Defenders limited series. A lot of limited series and one shots that Marvel is getting. The origin of the 10 rings. So we'll get to see that. Ultraman, Mystery of the Ultra 7. If you're a fan of Ultraman, pick it up. Otherwise, just skip it. Damage Control. Adam F. Goldberg. So he's writing the series. Again, I don't know how much of impact this story is going to have. Captain Marvel. Yeah, not interested in the story. Thunderbolts. I love the original Thunderbolts. So again, everything else is just a derivative of that. So not really interesting. Hulk number 10. Hulk number... this book has been delayed for quite some time. Now it's being released. Okay, Cross Gen Tales. This is so like... they're reprinting 4 issues for about $9. So we have Ruse, we have Mystic, we have Seagull, and Origin. So again, these are stories in which it's collected. I would love the omnibus if it's there, but for $9 for this series, if it was like $4.99, I'll pick it up but for $9, it's just like for reprints. I need more story instead of first issues. All right, Predator number 4. There's a new Predator series after Prey. I mean, this book has been interesting to read. So, like I said, right now I've been won over as a Predator fan. So it's something I'll pick up. Alien number 3. I think it would be great if there's a crossover between Predator and Aliens coming up next year. That'll be something fun to look forward to. Okay, Yoda has a one shot coming up. So, So I think not really a one shot. I think it's a limited series. So we'll get to see Yoda from his perspective. But again, I don't know how much of a long-term impact it will have on the story. Hidden Empire. So this is a character that was introduced in Solo series. Lady Kira. So again, we'll see what happens in the long term. Star Wars Revelations. So this gives us everything that's coming up for 2023. So again, this is a one shot. What's coming up for next year. So again, this is what's happening between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So we already know what characters are going to survive those interactions, so it's not something in which I'm enthusiastic to build upon. I kind of want to know what happens after Return of the Jedi. Star Wars The High Republic. This is a new series coming up called The Blade. I think this is something I'm picking up. It's probably going to be full of first appearances. Something I'm looking forward to, so I'll definitely pick this up. Okay. High Republic, again, another series, volume 2 that I'm going to pick up, so it's something where I'm looking forward to. This unknown age of Star Wars. Okay, Bounty Hunters. Again, haven't been picking it up. Han Solo and Chewbacca. I thought this was going to end with issue 6, but it's continuing. So we'll see what happens. Okay, The Mandalorian. So I don't know if this is going to be limited series or it's going to continue. I hope it continues so we get to see more stories from there. Okay, Darth Vader. Again, this takes place after Empire Strikes Back, so I don't know what's going to really happen. I know it probably ends with issue 50 or 40 from there next year. Okay. Okay. Dr. Alpha. Again, I don't know how much of impact these stories will have. Star Wars 29. All right, so again, this takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So you have Holdo in here. This is from The Last Jedi, so it could be interesting, but we'll see. Okay, so in regards to omnibuses, we have Planet of the Apes. They're the first issues 1 through 11. This is from the 1970s. Right. If you're a fan of Planet of the Apes, it's here. We have the What If Into the Multiverse omnibus. It was just going to be What If, but now they've tied it in with the multiverse, so it could be like, so it could sell more books. So I think it should be interesting. Has like 40 issues here, $125, but you know, if you know where to get your discounts, you can get it off for more than 40% off. So you can get it for less than 100. Okay. Adam Warlock. This is the Warlock Omnibus. So this is something where you're going to have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming up. So it might be a good time to get familiar with Adam Warlock because he's going to be making an appearance there. X-Men Omnibus by Grant Morrison. This is his issues. I really enjoyed this arc, except towards the end. You know, I just felt it just fell apart. It just didn't make any sense at all. And then you have Spider-Man 2099. Again, I'm a huge fan of this previously, but I don't know for now. Right. Like issues 1 through 46. So there's going to be like over 50 issues in this book. Right. If you know where you get it, you can get it pretty much for like over 40% off. So it could be worth picking up, but if you know the story, if you have the original issues, then you can just pretty much skip it. Okay. Okay, Star Wars Omnibus. Again, I think they're tapping into the Star Wars Legends, the Dark Horse era of comics. There. Okay. X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 15. So this takes place after the Fall of the Mutants. So this is around 500 pages. Or 500 pages for like $100. Has X-Men versus Avengers here. Right. I think collects Fall of the Mutants, so it could be something interesting. But I wish they had more pages in here. So I think I'll just wait until there's a trade paperback version of it. Okay. So we have Dazzler, not interested in the character. Okay, Wolverine, they're collecting issues from 14 to 25. Okay. Doctor Strange, Multiple Madness, and No Way Home. This is arts from the movie. Okay. So Savage Avengers, I think this is the last appearance of Conan in the book before he goes home. Okay, Symbol of Truth. Antithesis. This is the Fantastic Four. I have the limited series. Amazing Fantasy. Ant-Man. Fantastic Four. The new Fantastic Four. Cyberpunk. Captain Marvel. Okay, Miles Morales. X-Men animated series. The X-Men 97 is coming out soon. Obi-Wan. Dr. Alpha. Okay, this is Darth Vader. Trials of X-Men. Number 3. Legion of Superheroes. Okay, X-Men House of X. Right. Those. Okay. X-Men Lives of Wolverine. I wish I didn't collect this series. So, Amazing Spider-Man, Invasion of the Spider Slayers. So this takes place between this is when Venom's involved. You see Spider-Man's parents, I believe, in this issue. Okay, Return of Thanos. This is before the Infinity Gauntlet took place. There. Thanos returns. Okay, Defenders. Now, since we have Namor, we have the Hulk, and Doctor Strange, we could get a Defender series coming up from Marvel Studios, but we'll see how that plays out. Heroes Return, the second volume of Iron Man. So this collects issues 15 to 25. And not really interested. Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman. Okay, we have Amazing Spider-Man, Kraven's Last Hunt. Because we know a movie's coming up. I think this collects the proposal as well as Kraven's Last Hunt. If you have the Kraven's Last Hunt, that's be fine. But this also collects Spider-Man versus Wolverine. I have those issues, and that was just an amazing story. Right, and I think that's pretty much it. We're heading towards the end. Deadpool, Iron Man, Deadpool again, Doctor Strange, Masterworks, Kraven. Okay, so right now, just for Marvel, for 2022, I'm just getting Amazing Spider-Man number 14. That's when, just before the start of the Dark Web series, Venom 13. But that's pretty much it in regards to Marvel right now. I'm probably going to wait until January 2023, see what Marvel comes out. Same thing with DC Comics. I think everyone's waiting for 2023, how that year is going to launch into a new series, new storylines from there. All right, guys, so I'll see you guys next month.